So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you stress out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Time's hard to cliche in this rap relay, but it feel like I haven't slept in like 3 days, or probably 48 hours. No comedy, bruh. Common enough that insomnia got me hallucinating, losing patience in the world's ways. Tired of searching the reaper where the pearl lay. So now I'm putting everything in the God's hands. Left with a hole in my heart, not from the mob fans. All the scoliosis, backs breaking over shoulders. Only work to push it out there, cause y'all supposed to know it. And I think you need to sit there and read through all your actions and see how you perceive you. You shouldn't give a fuck about how others see you, cause though your brain's a computer, this shit you can't redo. So you might as well forget the tricks played on your mind and just take it one day at a time. No, ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you're stressed out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you're stressed out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Known people who I thought were righteous and Sufis, friends of mine to that broke down like a hoopty. Went from daps to catch him with a 2-piece. Seeing them made bloody didn't even move me. Now the moral is, if I'd have been concerned with preserving friendships, then I never would have learned about the crafty serpent. Snakes slither in the sand, be right under your nose, never figure it's your man. Every experience is embedded with a lesson. See, mine was to never let treachery get the best of me. And now I pass it on, nothing's ever really complex. Attributes shown according to the context of the condition that they currently in. Now knowing their behaviors only bury these men. If this is you, ignore the tricks played on your mind and just take it one day at a time. You know, ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you're stressed out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you're stressed out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time.
Hold on, give me a minute. Just give me a quick minute. 1 second. Forgot the lighting. Shit.
Take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Ignore the tricks played on your mind, just take it one day at a time. Cause when you're stressed out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time, one day at a time. Time's hard to cliche in this rap relay, but it feel like I haven't slept in like 3 days, or probably 48 hours. No comment.
Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles. Salutations to the house of David. To you sincere men, women, and children throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom. WFI Detroit, Sarah Ash, and whomever is watching, whomever else is in the house, and whomever else will enter the house. Alright, so check this out. Been waiting a minute. I was doing a witch hunter video to bring out for you, but I stopped doing the witch hunter videos live because these devils been fucking with my page so hard that on the House of Joseph, they revoked my live streams. And I can't fuck around and get the live streams knocked on the main channel. And then I have left is House of Joseph. Okay, so for those of you that don't have my backup page, you can go ahead and subscribe to my backup page, House of Joseph. All right. If you haven't subscribed already, all right, you can subscribe over there to House of Joseph, and I'll be doing live streams there as well. But I'm testing the waters because I'm bringing out a lot of information, banging on these witches and warlocks. And I realized when I did a video yesterday on the Ashkenazi Jews, I had done a video 2 years ago called The Evil Khazarian Mafia, part 1, 2, and 3. You can go on House of Joseph and watch it. And these devils on The House of Joseph, the video had a couple hundred views, and they disabled a lot of features on part 1. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to watch the videos. You can go to the video and go read the article. All right, and it breaks down who these Amalekites really are. All right, these false these imposters that claim to be us. But today's video, anyways, today the witch hunter video I was doing, I'll finish it later. So it'll be the hidden language of symbols part 2. Today's video is the battle of the spirit realm. Okay. Let me bring you the first scripture. So here it goes. Okay. It says in Joel 2:28, it says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions." All right. And it says it again in Acts 2:17, "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." All right. The dreams, the visions. Not every vision, not every dream is a vision. All right. Some dreams are just vain, but they are very important. I have another scripture for you. Let's see. This is the book of Job 33:14. It says, "For Yahweh speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed." All right, deep sleep. When deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Okay? Right? That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. All right? And in these times is more important than ever. Okay? It's more important than ever. Have your glass of wine. Have your glass of wine or 2 or 3. All right? It's all about moderation. But for those of you babes out there that are just coming into this, and you had a drug addiction, okay, always getting high, or even with the alcohol, you know what I'm saying, or even with other substances, the cigarettes, you know, even with the bad foods, like a lot of these junk foods that we shouldn't be eating, these high sugar diets, which is not easy, all right, because I used to love me some honey buns and nutty bars, but a lot of it affects us, especially the drugs and the excessive use of alcohol, all right. It fucks with us hard. It blurs our connection to the spirit, and I would know, because when I had a problem with these things, the Lord stopped giving me visions. And the reason why I say this is, some of us, some brothers have told me different things. Some brothers don't remember their dreams, or some brothers don't dream often, And I always thought that was very interesting. When I was a child, I was an only child for 7 years. And when I was a child, I never had the privilege of sleeping with mommy and daddy because I was scared. I had to man up and stay in my own bedroom. But I would sleep with the kitchen light on, right? Or I would hide under my covers with just my nose poking out of the covers because I was afraid to go to sleep. First of all, we're taught that all demons are just a figment of our imagination, that demons don't exist, they can't do no harm to us. And to a certain extent, it's true. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that they're around, and that doesn't mean that they don't fuck with us. It's not until spooky things happen to you, then you realize, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And in another video, I'll get into some stuff that happened to me, some paranormal shit. But it's really not all that deep, man. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in the Lord, you believe in the angels, they're there. And this is another reason why you must guard. Matter of fact, let me bring you another scripture about guarding your thoughts. All right? Guarding your thoughts is very important. Because your thoughts exist. Your thoughts are not physical. It exists. Their thoughts are a part of the spirit world. Okay? And the demons can enter your vessel through your thoughts by you giving thoughts to things that you shouldn't be thinking about. It says in 2 Corinthians 10:3, it says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts of itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Mashiach." All right? Bringing into captivity every thought. Very important that during all points of the parts of throughout all times of the day, all right, that you do not give in to thinking about things that you shouldn't be thinking about. Because when you think about things that you shouldn't be thinking about, what you are doing without knowing is you are entertaining demons. And then when you're going to sleep and you're thinking about things that you shouldn't be thinking about, you are entertaining demons at a time when your flesh is the most vulnerable. But that doesn't mean that you should be afraid of falling asleep. Me as a child, I didn't know any better about not being afraid because of, the Lord. But like I told you before, children know things. Children have a connection to the spirit that is more pure than adults. So children will sense things. All right? And ironically enough, as I got older, I started to find out that a lot of the places where I grew in, the houses that I lived in, they were haunted and people have been brutally murdered. And also a lot of witchcraft. Heavy amounts of witchcraft was done in these apartment houses and buildings that I used to live in. Okay? So there were particular demons that were attached to the apartment, and they would fuck with me. So I would always be afraid to go to sleep. And I would sleep with the kitchen light on, okay, because I was terrified of the darkness. And to me, it was no joke. To me, it was very much real. But that's the physical world. Where things became interesting for me and when I saw the movie Inception, which some of you may have seen it, with Leonardo DiCaprio, where they travel into the dream world, and they have they're fully conscious of the dream world. I learned that few of us have that. Few of us are able to recall dreams and remember them in so much detail, and let alone be able to like really observe what is going on. All right, that's why it says that I read to you in Job that the Most High speaketh once and twice, but no man perceiveth it. All right, when they are in deep sleep. All right, it is a gift to be able to see these visions and these dreams, and to be able to receive these messages. What I'm talking about is lucid dreaming. And I'm not going to get too deep into lucid dreaming and all of that. What I am going to tell you is that all my life I have been a lucid dreamer. Okay? And the main reason why I was afraid to fall asleep when I was a child is because every time I would close my eyes, it would be like transported into a whole nother world. And it would feel as if that reality was real. And then when I would wake up, it would feel like I transported back to this world. And every time I would fall asleep, it would be like I would be living a movie. But most of the times, it wasn't happy. All right? It was a nightmare. Like, it was literally, like when I saw the movie The Matrix, and if you remember Morpheus and Neo and shit, they're plugging in the back of their head. They plug that bullshit in the back of their head. They fall asleep, boom, and then they wake up in the simulation. Me falling asleep, it was like that. I would fall asleep, boom, wake up in another world, all traumatic. And I would always find myself running away from monsters and fighting monsters, and monsters coming after me being murdered, right? Now I understand that those were demons fucking with me, just like many demons are probably fucking with all of you. You see, it was through these visions that I learned that about our weapons of warfare not being carnal, about us not really battling against flesh and blood. The Lord showed me signs through these visions, and they got heavier as I got older, especially before I came into this truth and right when I came into this truth, they got heavier. But the spiritual warfare is fucking real. These fucking demons are fucking real. And now is not the time to be fucking around. You see, they're putting up, remember I told you, right? Like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's the 17th chapter, about the demons that are going to be roaming around here. All right, there's going to be demons everywhere, and people are going to be bugging the fuck out, flipping the fuck out, because they're going to be seeing apparitions. All right, they're going to be hearing things. Demons are going to be running all around them. Demons are going to be appearing. All right, there's going to be all these apparitions, and people are going to be bugging the fuck out because they're not going to be ready for this. Now you have these 5G towers going up everywhere. Don't you see it everywhere you go? If you live in a big city, you don't see it on top of these buildings? Many people have done videos on these 5G towers on YouTube. Look it up. They're a bunch of rectangular boxes. The antennas are rectangular. It's like a big rectangular box. And there's usually multiples with thick ass black wires pumping hundreds of watts of electricity. All right, sending out a very strong signal. Now Samsung came out with the Galaxy S10 Plus, right, on the 5G network. All right, and those frequencies that are gonna get pumped out, those frequencies are gonna bug people the fuck out. Those frequencies are gonna put out more demonic witchcraft, warlock energy out, hardcore. Because these zombies are going to want faster data transfer, faster internet. And I have a feeling, because every time I get to the train station, so where I get to my job, my cell phone has full service. I see all the bars. And then all of a sudden, when I get to this train station, the internet freezes. And I have a feeling that they're going to be messing around with the 4G. Just like Apple, when Apple comes out with a new cell phone, what does Apple do? Apple slows down their old product to then make you want to get the new cell phone, right? To make you want to upgrade. I have a feeling they're going to do that with the 4G. They're going to slow it down on purpose, right? And start messing with it so that people can go get the 5G and accept it. And then people are going to be getting bombarded with these frequencies. And because you are at a low vibration, all right? You haven't been feeding your spirit. And you men out there have been thinking with your little head instead of your big head, all right? Giving into lust and all these desires of the flesh instead of working, all right? Instead of giving into love. The first two commandments is love the Lord with all your heart and love one another as Yahushua has loved us. Not lust. So you're in the vibration of lust. And you've been lowering your vibration, lowering your spirit. And these demons are going to fuck you up. We don't have no time to be waiting another year or two to get yourself right. You need to battle these demons. You need to pray to the Lord. You need to fast. You need to examine yourself. All right? You need to be in fervent prayer. You may have to have that one specific person that you need to confess your faults to. Okay? Because the way that I learned to battle my addictions, we are not strong enough by ourselves to battle our addictions. We need the Lord. Okay? We need the Holy Spirit. And above all, not above all, the Lord is above all, but right here in the flesh, we have our brotherhood. Okay? We have each other. And addicts do not overcome addictions by themselves, holding things in. Addicts must confess their sins to one another. So that way they can work through the shame and the guilt and then begin to heal and then hold themselves accountable. Because so long as you keep doing these shameful things in secret, you're going to keep doing it because you think nobody is watching. But the demons are watching and the angels are watching. And they have been letting me know through the visions. So I'm going to share the visions that I have had over the past couple of years with you. Because some of you may have had these same visions. No, you're not going crazy. No, you're not bugging the fuck out. And no, it is not just a fucking dream. Not every dream is a message from the Lord. Because if a lot of times you are not right, all right, maybe you got drunk or high. Maybe your temple is too fucking polluted. So you have these demons messing with you. But anyways, the first vision, I have it written down. Okay? So the first vision was my first dream of spiritual power and flight. All right? how old was I? I think I was in the 7th grade. I was 12 years old. Yeah, I was 12 years old. All right. And I was watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z. That was the fucking shit. Okay. But this was different. This was very different because, like I told you, I'm a lucid dreamer. I remember my dreams. I can tell you dreams that I had years ago and months ago, but I had to do the work to remember them as well. I had to write them down so that I can remember them consciously, but it got to a point where I don't have to write them down anymore. I can remember them. But I remember when I was in 5th grade, 10 years old, I went to camp, my first camping trip. And I was out in the wilderness. We were hiking, okay? And we were playing manhunt. And I said, the hell with manhunt. I just stood in the back in the cut, and I went by a tree, and I started practicing Kamehameha waves. Kamehameha, right? And a fucking girl was making fun of me. And she was looking at me like all bugged out, and she was like, I feel sorry for you. And I looked at her and I said, shut the fuck up. I told her just like that. I got offended. Because she's looking at me like I'm special ed, but I didn't give a fuck, man. Because I was in the spirit. I believed in the spiritual power. Okay? even though I only learned it through cartoons. But I'm telling you, in these movies, all right, all of you, I guarantee you, at least 70% of you in this chat went to go see Avengers. Did you not? Right? A lot of you believe in these spiritual powers. Where the fuck you think Stan Lee got the information to make these Marvel comics? He didn't pull it out of his ass. He got it from the Bible. Where do you think Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Naruto, and all this other bullshit, where do you think they got the idea for all these spiritual powers? They got it from the Bible. That's why I did the series that I did. You can go look it up. You can go search for it. It's on Men of Valor 12 and it's on The House of Joseph. It's my spiritual power series. You can go search it up. They're called Blue Flame, Green Flame, Yellow Flame, Black Flame. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do some more episodes on that. It's difficult because these devils take my videos down because of copyright, but I don't be giving a fuck. I still try to upload it as much as possible. But I always believed in it, all right? Because I was watching it through spiritual eyes. You know what I'm saying? It was through this as a 5-year-old, through the Dragon Ball Z and shit. Something hit me in the spirit. I believed in it. I wanted that power. And I'm like, this gotta be real. But then I stopped believing in it because society tells you, you know, it's childish. As you grow older, it's childish to believe in such things. No, it's not childish, man. It's in the scriptures. And this is reserved for those that have faith, all right? Those men that have faith. I mean, what did Yahweh say? That these are the signs that shall follow those that believe. That they shall cast out devils. That they shall heal the sick. They shall lay hands and heal the sick and cleanse the lepers and raise the dead. Those are spiritual powers for those that believe, right? So anyways, I was shown in the vision when I was 12 years old. In this vision, this is the first testimony. When I was 12 years old, I had my first lucid dream, all right? It was, I say lucid because in these modern terms, this is how people understand it. Like, you'll have dreams that seem blurry, right? They're like blurry. They're like kind of quick. You barely remember them. Then you have dreams that it seems like you're on autopilot and you can't control nothing. And then you have those vivid dreams where it feels like it's reality, like it's fucking real life. Every night, that's how I dream, like it's fucking real life. And it's sometimes difficult to tell until I wake up, is this fucking reality or not? And it trips me out sometimes because it's fucking intense. So what happened was I started fucking floating in the air, and then I realized that I can fucking fly. So I just shot up in the air, and then I was just meditating, and I paused. And then I closed my eyes and I started meditating and becoming one with everything around me. You know what I'm saying? Just feeling everything around me. Back then I used to do martial arts. So I was just doing what I was taught in martial arts. All right. I was taught in martial arts how to fight blindfolded, how to sense the vibration of another person. Like if the closer you get to me, I'll be able to feel your body without you touching me. Right. And that's a whole nother topic in itself. But that has to do with our spirit around. Our spirit radiates. Let's just put it like that. Okay. So I'm feeling everything around me. And for those of you that watch Dragon Ball Z, I'm just floating in the air like Piccolo and shit, all serious, meditating. Then I sensed an enemy coming from far away. And it was a fucking demon. And as soon as that I sensed the demon coming, I got ready and I powered up what you would call Super Saiyan. And then the dream ended. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck happened? But then things got even more intense from there. All right. Right before I came into the truth. All right. Now from here on out, all these visions are when I came into the truth. This one is right before I came into the truth. And I told brothers this vision when I joined the church. And this shit bugged me the fuck out. Because a lot of times I would have visions of places where I would work or places that I have lived. And the reason why I know that the places that I used to live in were haunted and there was tremendous amount of witchcraft was because there were supposed rumors from neighbors, but then they would play around and say, oh, I'm just joking. I think that's because I was a child, so they would see that I would get frightened and they didn't want to go and get in trouble with my parents. But through the visions, the Lord would show me, no, that there was witchcraft here and whatever. But then through the visions, the Lord would also show me in certain places of employment that I would work in, there was heavy witchcraft there. So I used to work for this Sony store, okay, at the mall. And that Sony store closed down. But years after I got laid off from that store, right, it was about a few months before, a year before I joined the church, or maybe 6 months before I joined the church. Yeah, so I already knew I was a Hebrew Israelite, if I remember correctly. So 6 months in 2014, the summer of 2014. So it was like on some Twilight shit. You've had visions like this before, where it's like everything is a ghost town. So I'm in the store and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? There's nobody here. But you know how like in the scary movies, they're like going into like a haunted mansion or something, and they're saying, hello, is anybody here? And you just hear ghosts or whatever, or footsteps. You hear footsteps and they're just running around, but you don't see nobody. That's what happened. And I was led to the back of the store. And the back of the store takes you to the parking lot. And then through the parking lot, right, I saw some people that were exiting the store. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? You don't belong here. And it was two people dressed in jumpsuits, okay? And it was weird. The first one looked like a little kid with glasses. Looked like he was like, mind you, I was 21 years old when I was working in the store. In this vision, I was 24, right? When I had this vision, I was 24. This was 5 years ago. And this seemed like a fucking 11-year-old boy with glasses, like straight out of a cartoon, and he had a backpack. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? It was weird. Anyways, fast forward, he was trying to get me to follow him into the back alley of the parking lot. And in the parking lot, it was weird because the parking lot wasn't what it was in real life. Everything was transformed, but the store was exactly how it was in real life. The Sony store. Anyways, he lured me into the back parking lot, and he went inside the shed, right? And you know in the movies, when you see an apparition go somewhere behind closed doors and it wants you to follow it, how you're not supposed to follow it, and you say, no, don't go there. I ended up following it, right? And when I ended up following the fucking thing, the shit is crazy, man. Two fucking big ass demons grabbed me. If you've seen the movie, what's that movie? I think it's the movie Spy Kids, where there was a bunch of like brolic motherfuckers that their head was like a thumb, and they were basically like thumbs, giant thumbs, brolic as hell. They fucking grabbed me up, had no face or nothing. It was just a thumb head. If you've seen the movie Spy Kids, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull some of this shit up. I think I found it. This shit is ridiculous. Hold on one sec. Let me show you. This shit right here. So you seen the movie Spy Kids? This shit right here, it was two of these motherfuckers that fucking grabbed me up and snatched me up to hold me hostage, right? So it was two of them shits that held me hostage in the dream. And I knew that I was in trouble, right? Now check this out. When they held me hostage, right, the child, and talking about Dragon Ball Z again. Now, mind you, by this time I hadn't watched Dragon Ball Z in years. I'm talking about since I was in high school, because there was no more episodes, and the shit by the time it was already a little played out for me. All right, but the child with the glasses that looked 11 years old, he was laughing as they was holding me down, and when they was holding me down, they just held me at the door because there was already two more hostages inside the fucking shed. One of the hostages was laid out dead on top of a table. It looked like a table where, you know, like in the movies where scientists do science experiments to open people. Not science experiments, like a fucking morgue. So you got a morgue, right? And they open up the dead bodies in the morgue, but they got a nice wide table, right? A metallic table. It was two of them fucking tables. On the first one dude was dead, laid out, blood everywhere. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And on the second one behind him, there was the other hostage, and there was two more of these thumb niggas grabbing him. And that nigga was screaming hysterically. He was saying, no, let me go. No, let me go. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going? But I was frozen, right? Because I couldn't fucking move. I couldn't even move my fucking mouth. You ever had those dreams where your legs feel like spaghetti? You can't go nowhere. You can't even talk. All I could do was just observe and watch. I could open my mouth, but nothing was coming out. If I moved my lips, my vocal cords wasn't working. So this is when I knew, okay, this is some demonic shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And at the time I was learning about demons, all right? And that demons can attack you in your dreams. So I was aware, oh shit, I knew that I was battling a demon. The fucking child transformed, right? No, my bad. The child didn't transform yet. The fucking child pulled out a gadget, okay, out of his fucking backpack. And it was basically, it was like a big ass device with a needle, all right, that he wanted to stick inside the other hostage, but he wanted me to watch first. And I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck is this for? What is he using it for? And it's almost as if he read my mind, right? He said, I am going to steal his energy. So then the guy that was screaming hysterically, let me go, they couldn't hold him down. So they was like forcing him, struggling even harder because this dude was powerful. Now I'm little as hell, right? And I had my body, 5'6", 135 pounds in the vision. But this dude that was being held hostage, he was brolic as hell. He was big, all right? He looked like he could be one of them wrestlers or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fucking strong and they had a hard time holding him down. So what this dude did, he ended up committing suicide because he didn't want them to steal his energy, right? And I didn't understand it then, but then I understood it when I read the scripture that when you die, your spirit goes straight to the Heavenly Father. What I saw before my eyes in the vision was this guy, right? He gave up and he said, fuck it, I'm going to kill myself. And next thing you know, all I saw is that he was levitating a big ass nail. He was with his mind, all right, on some Professor X shit from X-Men or Jean Grey shit. He was using telekinetic powers to levitate a nail in the air. He pointed it into his temple and he shot it like a fucking gun straight into his fucking temple and killed himself. He committed suicide just so that these demons don't steal his power. And the demon told me, no, the demon didn't tell me. The demon was cursing out loud saying, fuck, I needed him alive. So then the demon turned around and told me that in order to steal our power, he needs us alive. We have to be alive. So we have to go through the torture of being alive to then submit to them and they can steal our energy, which I didn't really understand because at the end of the day, our spirit belongs to the Most High. But at the end of the day, not that at the end of the day, but what these demons reveal to me is that they really want to drain our soul. This magic that they do, these enchantments that they do, this witchcraft is very real. The spirit cooking that we talked about is very real. But this motherfucker wanted to put a device right in between my fucking forehead. He said that he wanted to put a device right in between my forehead and that I already have a mark where it needs to go. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I never realized, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a fucking dot on my forehead. It's like a little indentation. Not that it means anything. Doesn't mean shit to me. But I didn't realize I had this fucking dot on my forehead. It's basically, I don't know if you can fucking see it, man. It's a fucking, what's that called? A dimple. I got a fucking dimple on my forehead. I never even realized I had that shit until after that vision. And this motherfucker looked at me and said, okay, I'm going to take your energy. Because the force, he said the energy, the power is strong within you. And I wanted your energy anyways. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, you didn't. And I was scared because it's like, yo, I looked at this motherfucker. And this motherfucker levitated a fucking nail and shotgunned it into his fucking forehead and killed himself. I'm like, I don't have the power to do none of that shit. What the fuck can I do? How am I going to save myself? Like, I thought I was fucked. Mind you, I'm thinking this is for real. I'm not thinking that this is a dream. I'm thinking that this is for real, right? Because it felt fucking real. You know, sometimes I realize that I'm dreaming. Sometimes I don't realize that I'm dreaming, you know. So anyways, what happened, he was getting closer to me and he got his fucking device and he was pointing it to my forehead, all right? And he was grabbing my neck so I can stay still, right? Because oddly enough, the other two, they didn't need to hold me down because I was frozen. I was paralyzed. I guess it was his demonic power that had me paralyzed so I don't go nowhere. So he went to my neck and then he was bringing the device to my fucking forehead. And the only thing that I knew how to do was to sing for some fucking reason. I couldn't talk. I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't fight. I couldn't move. I couldn't move my arms. I wanted to knock him out and I wanted to run. I couldn't do shit. And for some reason through the spirit, I started singing. And it was ironic that I did that because, you know, in the world, that's what I was doing. I was a singer / rapper. This is what I know in my whole life. All right. And when I sang, it wasn't like I sang words. I just sang a very high note. As a matter of fact, I sang in a very high note that I cannot replicate in real life because I don't have the talent to fucking sing for real. I don't have that God-given talent, all right, to hit high notes. You know what I'm saying? But all I did was, like that, but it was real loud. And this motherfucker, when I did that, it was like I saw the sound waves come out of my mouth and I felt my vocal cords vibrate. And it sounded to me like a very heavenly melodic sound. Like if that note that I was hitting was from the angels. Like that note that I was hitting belonged to be sang with the playing of harps. Like that's how heavenly it was. Like it wasn't of me. It was when I think about it, it was like, yo, it's nothing that I did. I didn't do that. It just came out by itself. Because at the last moment, I remember I didn't want to give up. And I had faith that I was going to beat this demon. I just didn't know how. So I still couldn't move. The only thing was that I could move was my vocal cords. So out of my mouth was a blast of sound of this note that was, oh, just like that this was for 10 seconds long. And for those 10 seconds, this motherfucker froze in place. And he was scared. He was like, fuck, now I'm going to be destroyed. And then what happened was that the vibration of my vocals shape-shifted him into his real form. And oddly enough, his real form, this is what he really fucking looked like. Like a Dragon Ball Z character as well. It's fucking crazy, man. For those of you that know about Dragon Ball Z, you'll know who this fucking demon is. Like, he really looks like a demon. And he was a demon that was out to steal everyone's power at that. All right. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, here it goes. This is what the demon looked like once I started singing. All right, the child transformed into this motherfucker right here. Right? Now, of course, watching too much Dragon Ball Z, whatever, but I haven't watched this episode of Dragon Ball Z, this saga, in years. I'm talking about, I was 24 years old, and this shit right here with these characters was like 11 years prior. All right? And I hadn't watched Dragon Ball Z since. This motherfucker actually had a device that he was sticking to Goku and Vegeta and everyone to steal their energy. His name was Babidi. But that little fucking 10-year-old in my dream transformed into this little green fucking goblin, just like that. And then when I stopped singing, right, He got destroyed. He got destroyed before I stopped singing, and then the dream ended. And when I woke up, I was like, holy shit, it was just a fucking dream. But I was scared. I'm like, oh shit. Because I've always, all my life, I had crazy dreams of like monsters coming after me and shit like that. But this was different. This was demons disguised as human beings, right? And using other demons. Then I witnessed other hostages. One of them was dead. One of them committed suicide. I was frozen in place. And then I was shown a spiritual power manifested through me that was obviously of the Most High. It wasn't of me. I didn't do shit. And then they let me know, oh shit, the demons attacking us in our dreams is fucking real. This is not a game. This is not a joke. So that was that one. Okay, wanting my energy. When, let's see here. The next one. I was in the laboratory. Okay? I just woke up in the fucking laboratory. And I didn't know what the fuck happened. It was like a factory. I was in a prison camp, is what it was. And I wasn't in the church yet, but I was in the. I knew I was an Israelite, and I was learning all these things. Like I said, once I learned I was an Israelite, and I wanted to stop doing all the bad things and all the shit, which I didn't stop doing right away. It was a process, but the visions intensified. All right, and the demons were attacking harder in the dream world and in the fucking in real life. All right. And I'm telling you, they attack your lusts heavy. If you have these lusts, all these lusts, any addictions. So I woke up in a fucking laboratory, which was in a fucking warehouse. It was a prison camp. And I noticed that there were other brothers with me there that I did not recognize. I knew not a single one of them. But I knew that they were brothers in the truth. And they had rounded us up to fucking harvest our energy. They wanted our spiritual power. And what they would do is they had us strapped down in chairs. Strapped down. You know them chairs? What's them chairs? Execution chairs? All right. I love pictures. Let me see if I can find one. All right. And I know this may be a little graphic, but I gotta paint you the visuals. I gotta show you the visuals. All right, so you have the execution chairs, all right? So they had us strapped down in these execution chairs just like that. Except we weren't blindfolded. So we could definitely see. We could see everything that was happening. But the chairs, all right, were on conveyor belts. All right, they were on conveyor belts so that we get moved along automatically because one by one they was fucking with us. And what I saw was the brothers that were in front of me, they were getting tortured to death. A lot of them gave up. A lot of them, they were screaming horribly. Like they were torturing us. Like the Lord was showing me what these devils want to do in these FEMA camps. Okay? And I did know about the FEMA camps by then, before I came into the truth. But the Lord was showing me what they want to do to us. They were showing me that they want to torture us. And they want us. They want what's inside of us, which is why they constantly harvest the melanin. All right? Did you know that melanin is worth more than gold? They constantly harvest the melanin in our bodies because they study us. They want what's inside of us. Okay? And they know who's who. All right? They watching all of us. And these demons tell them who's who. All right? And that's why they stalk us. That's why they gang stalk us. That's why they target us. That's why they monitor us heavy, man. You know, that's why, like, you brothers with the social medias, I don't suggest that you be posting a bunch of selfies, posting where the fuck you work at, where you live at, where you be going. Nothing. Your family, your daughters, don't be posting shit up there, man. Don't make it easy for these devils to track you down because they are watching. Okay, and these visions have shown me that. But we were on those execution chairs, moving along conveyor belts, right? And I saw the brothers in front of me. They were screaming in agony, okay, being tortured, because what they did was, when they strapped them down, they put a metallic helmet on top of their head, all right, to execute them on some Frankenstein shit, putting like giant needles inside them, like on some Frankenstein shit, on their necks, their face, their arms, their chest, because they had developed a machine to extract the soul from the body and to harness it. And I realized that this wasn't bullshit, because I learned that the fucking Russians, they're developing technology to transfer the consciousness from your brain into this. This is how bad these devils want to play the Most High. And they showed you in the movies like I, Robot, and in this old movie that came out, I believe in 1998, 20 years ago, with Bruce Willis. Is a bad movie. You should go watch it. Called AI, Artificial Intelligence. They showed you with all the integration of the robots and shit. Then there was another movie called Bicentennial Man with my man, what's that nigga name? Robin Williams, where you have robots that wanted to become humans and shit. And it was just crazy. So basically, so they show you the back and forth of cyborgs and integrating with the technology and implanting a brain inside a robot, or implanting the human soul inside an artificial brain, which these devils are working on artificial brains. But what they wanted to do specifically with the technology was take the souls, right? And this is what they were doing in the FEMA camps and divisions. Try to take the souls of the men of the Lord, because they want the spiritual power. So they can't have the spiritual power. The Lord ain't blessed them with the spiritual power. But they believe that they can steal our spiritual power if they steal our spirits, if they somehow suck the spirit out of us. Okay? Which is what these witches believe they can do with their sex magic. All right? When I told you they want to harness our energy. All right? But ultimately it's of the Most High. They can't do shit with it. So when they got to me and shit, right? When they got to me, I don't know what the fuck happened or how. It was all the spirit. But basically, I got freed from the fucking straps, right? Because unlike the execution chairs with the leather straps, it had metal straps, right? Just like in the cartoons, Frankenstein experiments, the metal straps, metal bars. I was locked with metal, and I broke out of it. So I had the spiritual power in that moment to break the fuck out of it. And then there were other men, I saw other brothers, that they were breaking free, and I helped other brothers break free. And some other brothers have spiritual powers too. It was very few of them. But together, we destroyed the whole place. And then the scientists were running crazy. And the scientists were getting their high-powered laser guns. All right, so in the visions, I saw that they got technology, high-powered frequency laser guns and shit on some Ghostbusters shit. And they were trying to use that shit against us. We destroyed them. Then they called the military, and you had all kinds of military helicopters and planes. First, you had a bunch of soldiers shooting at us, destroyed them. We spared none of them. Everybody died. If you wasn't down with us, you died. We killed them all. Then the planes, I saw one brother, he jumped in the fucking sky like the Hulk, grabbed the fucking plane and smashed it and destroyed it all. And then we got the fuck out of there, and then that was the end of the vision. But the point of that vision is that it showed me that they're doing experiments on us. They're doing human experiments on us because they want our energy. They want our spirit. They want our soul. They truly want this. They don't just want it because we submit and we serve Satan. No, they actually want to steal it from us. Like if it's an actual tangible thing that they can take and put it inside a jar. Like, this is what they want to do. And there is evidence of this through their technologies, through their many technologies. Like I said, creating artificial brains to transfer a human mind, the human spirit into the artificial brain. Like, this is complete madness. There was another vision, okay, where, let's see which one I should start with first. So there was 7 chariots, okay? Matter of fact, hold on, let me see what you brothers and sisters saying in the chat. Shalom, shalom, Raphael. Sarah Ash, I used to love cigarettes and marijuana. True, yeah, I used to love cigarettes and marijuana. I had a big smoking demon, man. But fuck all of that. Because getting high is not getting high. You're getting low. You're lowering your vibration. So fuck the smoking. Obadiah, shalom, brother. Hebrews 12:9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Khan. All praise Yahweh Shai. Shalom, brother. When I read the Holy Scripture, my spirit ignites in my head. I feel fire is burning inside me. Esau messing with the live stream is buffering, Ak. Yeah, Salakia for that, man. Yeah, Joseph was a great dream interpreter. Yeah, I'm aware of that. And I learned that. I'll tell you something about Joseph, man, because that's actually my government name. And I used to hate my name because, being amongst all these Dominicans and Puerto Ricans especially, all these Jose's, and I used to get annoyed, but I started appreciating my name when I realized, oh shit, I was born with I have a Hebrew name, transliteration. But once I started reading about our people, I started appreciating, these names carry vibrations, and I started appreciating my name. And no longer did I look down upon it, all right? Because these are our forefathers that we're talking about. We do not disgrace our forefathers, all right? And yeah, Joseph was a great dream interpreter. It says, Obadiah, addiction thrives in darkness and secrecy. Once you bring it to light, addiction, it can't live. That's right. Rafael de la Cruz, I have to admit, I did that and tried doing jutsus. Yeah, with those jutsus, though, them hand sigils is witchcraft shit. Don't fuck with none of that. Which was what them gangsters do, and they have no idea. A lot of them have no idea what they're doing. Them fucking fraternities and sororities, they do that shit. A lot of them do know what they're doing. Shalom Yaikwa Simeon. Shalom Morocco. Shalom Ebony. Shalom Walking in Faith. Alright, yeah, the transhumanism shit. Yeah, they want to synthesize our energy. Khan, so check this out. The next scripture was the chariot scripture. And mind you, I had a lot of visions of, even to this day, I have a lot of visions of two places where I used to live. One apartment where I used to live in Patterson, and then another one where my parents live right now. And I still dream of these locations. But the place that I used to live as a child is usually demonic dreams. And I realized it was haunted, all right? There was a lot of witchcraft done there, and also somebody was murdered there as well. And, but then where my parents still live right now, it was crazy. And my little brother was in this dream, and he witnessed what I had witnessed. And, but it started out, I was in the parking lot of what used to be, I don't know if it's still fucking there, but by my house in the next town over, there was a Pathmark and a Kmart. Kmart ain't there no more. Kmart went out of business. But I was in that parking lot, and it was late at night, and there was a fucking agent following me, okay? And the fucking agent, it was a demon. It was a demon. It wasn't like it was some regular, it was a demon dressed in like a man in black, all right? Like literally like a man in black. And he had a long black cape on, one of them fancy old school detective hats, and he had dark shades on, but it was a fucking demon, and I could feel the demonic energy. And I was trying to shake him, but no matter where I went, the motherfucker kept following me. I was trying to hit alleyways, jump through fences. Then I cut through the supermarket, and the motherfucker was there. And then the dream was weird because what happened was, then I flash forward, the dream skipped, and then it continued inside my house. And I was inside the house with my little brother, and we were home alone. Okay, my parents weren't home, and it was like a weekend or something. We were home alone, and in the vision, it was funny. As a child, my brother is 7 years younger than me, and I always believed in aliens. Right now I know better because I always had visions with chariots as a child as well, and the shit would terrify me because my only familiarity with the chariots was aliens and UFOs and alien invasions because of the movies. So when I would see these things in my dreams, I would be fucking terrified, but I believed in it. I knew it was real. As a matter of fact, by that time, when I was 21, I had seen my first chariots. One in broad daylight and one at night when I was smoking weed out at fucking, you know what I'm saying? But I saw this twice and it was unmistakable, and by then I knew it was real. But all my life, all right, since my brother was like maybe 4 years old, or 4 or 5 years old, I would tease him and tell him and look out the window after we would see movies. Like, for example, if you've seen the movie Signs with Mel Gibson, that's a spooky movie. And I remember seeing that with my little brother. My little brother would get spooked out. And every time we would see that movie, it was Signs. And there's another one called, it came out like in 2008 or 2009. It's called something about the fifth. What the fuck is it, man? It took place in Alaska. And it was crazy demons visiting people. The fourth kind or the fifth kind, something like that. Maybe you brothers and sisters know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right? So I saw those movies with my little brother. And ever since those movies, I would tease my little brother. And I would go to the window and pull down the shades. And I would say, look, aliens are coming. And my little brother would get spooked the fuck out. So in the visions, I did the same thing. Except this time, they were fucking lights in the sky. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So there was these huge lights in the sky. And I thought it was a giant airplane with like rainbow lights low to the floor, right? And something told me, go to the backyard. And when I went to the backyard and I looked up, I saw 7 lights circling the sky. And I was spooked out because I was like, wait a minute. They're too fucking close. And they're right above us. Next thing you know, the lights transformed into fucking colorful Cadillacs. It's fucking crazy. Into colorful Cadillacs, cars, like very fancy, like with the candy paint and everything. I don't know why, whatever. And then they started floating down and they parked between my neighbor's backyards and my backyard. Like our backyards are kind of connected and they just parked in a row. My backyard is not that big to accommodate all of them. So they took up space in the neighbor's backyards, to the left, to the right, behind them. And I was spooked the fuck out. And I'm just looking at it like this. Oh shit, the aliens are here. And my little brother was there. And I told him, get back inside. I closed the fucking door. And when I closed the door, right, all I heard was a knock, right? And I didn't want to open it. And then something told me, it was like, oh shit. I heard a voice in my head say, don't be afraid. It's your brothers. And I heard the knock again. So I went to open the door. And when I opened the fucking door, all I saw was the belly of a giant being, right, in a white garment. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm looking up. And when I looked up, it was a bunch of tall, dark-skinned men with big beards, right? And garments dressed in white. And I'm like, oh shit. By then I knew I was an Israelite. So I'm like, oh shit, it's the brothers. It's the angels. And they told me, don't be afraid. We're your brothers. We're here for you. And so then they came in and I invited them in, closed the door, right? And it was funny because they didn't just walk in. It's like When I turned around behind me, it was like on some Angels in the Outfield type shit. If you've seen the movies Angels in the Outfield, when I opened the door and I looked behind me, they were already inside in the living room with my little brother. They were talking to my little brother, making themselves at home. And I'm like, okay, it felt like a family reunion, right? And then there was the head of them. When I went into the living room, the head, which was the one that I opened the door, that was in the front when I opened the door, he was the leader amongst them. I don't know his name. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he came to me and he said, don't worry, don't be afraid. We just came to visit you because we have business that we need to handle. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So he said, take my hand. When I took his hand, just me and him, the other angels stayed with my little brother at home. When I took his hand, okay, we teleported back to the fucking parking lot where Kmart and Pathmark is. Nobody was there. It was at night. It was dark. There was a few cars parked there, but there was nobody there. All right, and usually there's traffic because there's a liquor store there, and there's other shit around there. So usually there's traffic. It was like a ghost town. When we appeared there, all he did was, I said, what are we gonna do? And he said, you know what we're gonna do. We have unfinished business to handle. And the angel, all he did was like, he raised his hand up like Magneto. He did just like this. He just raised his hand up like Magneto, and he drew the demon out. The demon was hiding, all right? And he drew the demon out like Magneto, and that fucking demon came over here, and it came right in front of us, and then he waved his hand again, and the fucking demon blew up into dust. Like he fucking disintegrated into oblivion right before my eyes. The angel basically made him explode into nothingness. And then just a bunch of dust began to drop down into the floor. He destroyed him. And he was like, yeah, he told me that this was a very powerful demon, and I needed help. You know what I'm saying? That's why I couldn't shake him. I wasn't powerful enough to deal with him. All right? And I have a lot of work to do, he said. And I'm like, oh shit. Then he grabbed my hand again, and then we transported again, like in the flash, in the blink of an eye, back to my crib. And there they all are with my little brothers and stuff. And they're having a good time with my little brother. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Because it's crazy my little brother's in this dream, because when I spoke to him about the Bible, he didn't really want to believe. Even though he never scoffed at the truth, you know, he believes in the Lord according to his own understanding. But he just doesn't want to accept being a Hebrew Israelite and accept that the Bible is the truth. But it was crazy that he was in the vision and he believed in the power of the angels and in the angels, and they was getting all along like family. So then the angels, I don't remember exactly how many of them there were, but the angels were leaving, and I was sad to see them go. So I was walking them out the door. It's crazy. I'm walking them. I opened the door to let them in, and I'm walking them out the door as if they need me to walk them out the door. But you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to, they knew that I was nervous, so they didn't want me to be nervous, right? But anyways, the leader was the last one to walk out the door, and they were all getting in their chariots, and their chariots was already up in the air, but the leader and two more of them stayed behind waiting for him. But the leader told me, he said, what happened just now is for real. These demons, once you come to serve the Lord, these demons are after you. They're hunting you. Just like in the movie The Matrix, the Agent Smiths come after you. You have to be strong, and you have to make sure that you do the right thing. Always. If not, you will get weaker. He said that one day we will be back, but that it's not up to me, or it's not up to him if I will meet him again. He said it's going to be a surprise whether I make it from the to the salvation from the destruction or not. He said he's not going to tell me, and that's for me to find out, because he said that I have work to do, because faith without works is dead. There's work to do. You got to put in work. Always. The Lord requires us to put in work. Point blank, period. He said one more thing. He said, because he knew that I was brokenhearted and that I had just went through these relationships and shit a few years before that, or the year before that. And I was always the type to, you know what I'm saying, to have that love and compassion. You know, when I would find a decent female, I would give my all to her. Now I know better to not be so goddamn simple. Not that I was a fucking mangina ever, but gotta be use more wisdom, because a lot of these women are demonic and shit, and they need healing. Really, ultimately, they need healing. But he said, don't be brokenhearted and don't worry. He said, you need to focus. You just came into this truth. You just came to serve the Lord. He said, you need to focus and serve in the Lord and focus on that. Don't worry about these women. He said, because the majority of them are not worthy, and you have no idea what is waiting for you on the other side in the kingdom. And when he said that, I said, oh shit. So for 2 years, when I came into the truth, for 2 years, I did not focus on women, okay, at all. You know, actually, I talked to one woman because I was already talking to her when I found out I was an Israelite. So when I joined the church, I was already talking to her, but it didn't work out. Once that didn't work out with her, I just let it go. And I remember what the angel told me. The angel wanted me to stay focused. He said, do not think about vagina. Do not think about getting a wife. Then the brothers taught me the scripture that Paul said, that I'd rather you be like me, right? And like the advice that my big brothers gave me, that my elders gave me, my elders in this church specifically gave me, you know, and even the elder apostles of GMS, they say it. When you come into this truth, ideally, you want to give yourself time. If you don't have a woman, if you have a woman, that's another story. But if you don't have, and this is according to the scriptures, if you have a woman, seek not to be loose from her. If you have a woman, but if you don't have a woman, seek not a woman. If you just, and I'm speaking to you babes, if you just came into this truth, worry about getting yourself in order. Don't worry about chasing no tail and getting no relationship. Don't worry about getting yourself a whore. Fuck all that. A whore has legions of demons on her, and you risk getting those demons on you, and you're a babe and you in this truth. You need to build your foundation. So when the angels left, that was their message for me. Okay? And it was crazy because they destroyed that demon in front of me and left me that message, and my brother got to witness that miracle. But my brother was just in the dream. It's not like he had the same dream. Okay? Then I had another vision where I was in a FEMA camp. Okay, so the FEMA camps came. The FEMA camps was under effect. I had a lot of visions with the FEMA camps and them rounding us up, and some of us getting, sometimes I would get captured, sometimes I wouldn't get captured. But in this vision, I got captured. And let me tell you, with the scriptures that rise up you women that are at ease, and the daughter of music being brought low, and shall there be any faith found on earth? I saw the despair and the agony in the face of so many of our brothers and sisters. And even these heathens, even these proud ass heathens, I saw them in the visions, crying, not knowing what to do. People were being tortured. It's not just like it's not like they was just in the FEMA camps to put in work and slave and get fed cockroach bars and worms. They were running Einstein experiments on them too. Salakia, I had to burp. They were running experiments on them as well. Okay? And the funny thing is that in the vision, I wasn't fucking scared. For some reason, I wasn't scared. And I wasn't even talking. But I was alarmed because I wasn't trying to draw attention to myself, because I knew what was going on because of the previous visions when I had gotten captured. I was trying to be low key. But the vision showed me, let me bring out this scripture, man. This is Matthews 5:14. It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick. And it giveth light unto all that are in the house." It giveth light unto all that are in the house. "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." So everything that I'm telling you is all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because in reality, I couldn't control none of it. I had no idea what was going on until it was shown to me. And this is not of me. This is of the Lord. This is of the Spirit. So all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rahak Vadash. But we are the light of the world, and the city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. We cannot hide our light. I told you this before, ever since the first Shining Ones episode. We can't hide our light. So I'm trying to be low key. I'm not trying to say nothing. I'm not trying to do no talking. I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. But there were people that were bugged out and they couldn't stop staring at me. And they were pointing at me and they were whispering. They were everywhere I would walk. I would just try to walk. I was in the FEMA camp walking like it was a jail. Matter of fact, how you see in the movies. How you see in the movies, you got the new fish that's in the jail, right? And he's in the cafeteria. He's getting his food. Right? So he got his food, he turns around and he's looking at the cafeteria and everybody is staring at him. And it's like, fuck, why can't just people eat their fucking food and mind their business? But everybody in jail is staring at the new fish in town, the new prisoner, right? Because where is the prisoner gonna sit? Where is he gonna go? What is he gonna do? How is he gonna react? Somebody is gonna test him. How is he going to react? How is he going to handle himself? So everybody's watching. So that's what everybody was doing with me in the vision. They were watching, but not only were they watching, they were pointing at me and talking, whispering, as if they knew something about me. All right? And then I was like, at first I was uneasy, but then it was like I didn't give a fuck. But then they kept pointing me out. But then there were those, right, that were happy to see me, right? And then it clicked. It's like, oh shit. Some of us are going to be persecuted for righteousness' sake. Some of us are going to be cast into prisons. All right. But who's to say that because the Lord said that he's going to give us fame in the land that we shall be put to shame. That fame is going to come soon for the men of the Lord. I don't know if I'm one of those men. I don't know. We'll find out who's who when the things happen. I'm not saying I'm one of those men. But I know I have a job to do. So I'm going to keep pushing this work as hard as I fucking can, until they fucking kill me or we get delivered, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? But for those that do get cast into prisons, there's going to be elect in there that they get cast into prison as well. And they're going to recognize you, brothers, for the works that you did. They're going to recognize you from the streets. They're going to recognize you from the YouTube channels. And that's what the Lord was showing me. Unfortunately, it put me on blast. Right? Now I'm saying me because I was made the example in the vision. It's not like I was observing somebody else. I was made the example in the vision. And I was made put on blast. I wanted to be low key because I already know, you know what I'm saying? Like I already know I was a target, right? So then the fucking guards, man, found me and they started torturing me. And then they let me go. I didn't give in to the torture, all right? They let me go only to then torture me again at a later time. And instead what happened was some of the believers, they were wondering how we're going to get out of here and when. And I told them to have faith. I told them that the Lord is going to give us a sign. So lo and behold, I don't know how much time had passed after because the vision was very short. But it seemed like it was different days in between. It was jumping. And lo and behold, we got a sign. Some shit happened. Some shit blew up in the FEMA camp. We looked up and there was a fucking chariot waiting for us. But we had to run through a maze because the FEMA camp was set up like a maze. Like in the movie The Maze Runner, they set it up like a fucking maze so that it wouldn't be easy to escape. But little did they fucking know that we didn't really need to escape from the maze. We just needed for the chariots to come down. All right, so the chariots came, one chariot came down to come get us, but then the vision ended. I don't know who got beamed up. All I know is that I was in the FEMA camp, all right? So the Lord showed me some of us is going to the FEMA camps. whether we like it or not. And you're going to have faith, all right, when you're cast into these prisons. Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So that's what I was shown in the vision. Have faith, all right? Because the fearful and the unbelieving, they're going to have their part in the lake of fire, all right? If you truly believe in this truth, the Lord didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind, of love, of power. Yeah, we fear the Lord. We fear the Heavenly Father. But we're not fearing these things that are about to happen. We are not to fear these things that are about to happen. They're supposed to happen. Let's see, I got 3 more. Well, I got 4 more. So when I came into the truth, right? Remember I told you that these with the whole targeted individual gang stalking thing, and these demons, they know who we are, right? So I had a vision, and this was where I used to live, which creeped me out even more, which it made me wonder. It made me really wonder about my surroundings now that I think about it. And I'm going to further expound on that. So just hold that thought. My surroundings, where I used to live in this one nice town. And I enjoyed living there because it was peaceful. I mean, coming from the hood to live in the suburbs, that's not too suburb, because I lived kind of where there was some commercial area. You know what I'm saying? I had a basement to myself. It was peaceful, right? It was quiet. All right, Yaquov Simeon knows where I'm talking about. He's been there many times, right? But anyways, when I came into the truth, when I found out, months after I found out I was an Israelite, right before I joined the church, I had a vision that I was coming home from work. And when I came home from work, there were a bunch of unmarked cars, black cars, on some secret agent shit, just like you see in the movies, up and down my block. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was springtime, right? And the trees, all the roses had blossomed. The rose petals had blossomed. And there was rose petals everywhere on the floor. Pink and red rose petals everywhere. And so there was a bunch of agents going up and down the house, surveillancing, and they were setting up cameras and shit. And it was crazy. And I was watching them from far, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? So then they had left, right? Then I went inside my house. I went into the basement. But when I went inside my house, I had left and came back, and I didn't want nobody to know that I was home, basically. But somehow, they knew that I was home, all right? I don't know what happened. I don't know if the house was wired. I don't know what. But I don't think it was wired, but I'm going to get into what I think it was in a minute. Based on what happened with me, with the fake federal warrant that I had, with the Russian Amalekites that I used to work for. So anyways, when I went inside my house, I was in the room. The basement was set up differently. Instead, I had a lot of clear windows surrounding me, so I could see all outside, right? And I'm seeing, and the agents came back, and they were surrounding the area and snooping. But this time, they were surrounding my house. And they wanted to know, they was trying to see if I was home. It was, basically, the vision was letting me know that these motherfuckers are monitoring me. And I was very alarmed. I was like, fuck, why are they watching me? Right? And I overheard them talking, saying that we need to know what he knows. He finally knows who he is and the truth. We cannot let him gain more knowledge of who he is and where he comes from. And I'm thinking, does this have to do with the Bible? Because now I know that I'm a Hebrew Israelite. right? So I'm looking, and I didn't want them to know that I was in the fucking house, so I was hiding, right? So that was basically that in the vision. But now that I think about it, right, and after what happened with these Russian Amalekites, with the fake warrant, which really they knew who I was. They said that I had a federal warrant for my arrest. They did that just to get rid of me from the job, because they didn't want to say that I'm fired. They didn't want to do that. That neighborhood was surrounded by a bunch of so-called Jews, heavily. That town was ran by them. To my left, to my right, I was living amongst them. There were so many Jewish synagogues in my neighborhood. It's not even funny. There were also many Catholic churches. I mean, some big ass Catholic cathedrals that looked so demonic. And on top of that, all these temples had the gay pride flag hanging proudly right in front of their temples, right? So like I said, I found out the truth. I found out who I am, all right? I was living there for almost a whole year after I finally came to the streets to do the work with the brothers, right? And the brothers told me, don't bug out, because now your face is out in the social media, out on YouTube. Don't bug out if you may get fired. I mean, it took years for me to get fired from my job. It took 4 years. I mean, the job that I just recently had. But he said, don't bug out if the job that you have now, because I was working, told you, the German that I told you about with the last name, and his wife, so-called Jew, right? So I was working for the enemy in the town with a lot of the enemies, a lot of these Ashkenazis and so-called Jews and whatever. So they said, don't bug out and be alarmed if you get fired from your job and shit starts mysteriously happening and people start acting crazy around you because they recognize you from the videos. Your face is out there now, and now you will become a target, right? So I didn't really give it too much mind back then, but now I wonder, it's like, fuck, when I was walking down the street, all right, the neighbors that would see me, when I would go to the supermarket, right? Because right there in the town, I had everything. Whole Foods was down the fucking block from where I lived. And that's where I would shop. And I would eat at certain restaurants. I'm talking about a bunch of Edomites that are into yoga, crystals, psychics, reading tarot. I had all that shit around there. But it was a lot of so-called Jews. Right? So I wonder if they knew about... I wonder how many of them were Freemasons that were keeping an eye on me. You know, I really wonder that. So I wanted to share that vision, because there's been many visions. I've had many, and I'm not going to recount those visions because they're just a lot of miscellaneous stuff. But I've had a lot of visions of agents chasing me down, and a lot of visions of agents chasing other brothers down, and us getting chased down together. And not just brothers in my church. I'm talking about brothers from different camps. Brothers that I don't even know, from different churches, okay? Getting chased down by agents, just like in the movie The Matrix, when they're getting chased down by a bunch of Agent Smiths. You know, so the Lord showed me many times that this is for real. The demons fuck with us in our dreams. They fuck with us to put that fear in us, all right? But don't let that fear get to you, man. And at the end of the day, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you'll be able to receive the messages that the Most High is trying to show you. But you got to do your best to keep your temple as pure as possible, as holy as possible. All right? Try to get away from all this demonic shit as much as possible. I mean, it's one thing to be over righteous, but it's another thing to then be over wicked. Be not over righteous much, but be not wicked much, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can do away with certain things that bring a bad vibration to your spirit, do away with that. You know what I'm saying? And especially the excessive drinking of alcohol. The Lord will take your visions away. You getting drunk all the time. And I know with the marijuana, oh, okay, we can eat it, we can drink it. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of you, because I used to be that individual too, and I told you I will do my testimony, it's coming soon, about my lust and addictions. Oh, I'm going to humiliate myself in front of all of you for the sake of all of us. Because a lot of us battle heavy demons that is not letting us get to the next level. And we have to be honest about the shit. And with being honest about the shit, oh yeah, we can drink the weed. We can eat the weed. Yeah, the marijuana has its purpose. But a lot of us are still hooked with getting high and wanting to be high all the time. And you being high all the time and you going to sleep high off of the THC is going to block your visions. And the demons will fuck with you. It's just not the highest level. But that's another story. I'm not going to get into that. I'll get into the marijuana at a later time. The Lord showed me another vision, all right, where I was disguised as a Rothschild. Crazy. You want to talk about shapeshifters? So it was like I was disguised as the Rothschild somehow. I don't know how. And I went into a secret mansion. And in the mansion, there was a secret underground base, some secret scientific layer. And there was a bunch of giant test tubes. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. See if I can get a picture to paint you a picture. Yeah, here we go. I found it. God damn. Let me show you what I saw in my vision. I'm not saying it's for real, all right? But what I'm saying is that these demons are definitely running experiments on us. And I believe that the experiments are real. Whether they're actually doing it, I don't know. But they're running experiments on us. Let me close this. Hold on, I got a lot of windows open, so I think it's slowing down. Fuck. The picture is now found. Fuck, hold on. Give me 1 second. Because I want to show you what I saw in the vision. Okay, let me see if I can get this one. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, I was disguised as a Rothschild. Okay? I don't know who. I don't remember. I didn't see my face, what I looked like. But whatever. So I went in, shook somebody's hand. It was, who I shook was, this nigga's name. It was Evelyn Rothschild, and it was Prince Philip. I met them two bastards. Prince Philip and Evelyn Rothschild. But who was I disguised as? I don't know. Anyways, went in, shook their hand, we went in, and they said, okay, welcome. We got to show you the next phase. We're happy to show you the next phase. And when I walk into this laboratory, this is what I see, okay? This shit shocked me. What I saw was this right here. And there was a bunch of humans in test tubes just like this, or what appear to be humans. I don't know what the fuck they were. They were some kind of experiment. They were experimenting on I don't know what if they were humans, and I don't remember what they looked like, but basically I saw human bodies inside tubes just like this. All right? It was in a secret underground layer. I don't know where the fuck in the world I was, but this is what I saw. And when I walked down the hallway, in the middle of the hallway, it didn't look exactly like this. The tubes look somewhat like this with the human bodies, but this is more like a rectangular hall. The room was more, it was shaped, it was in the shape of a circle. So it was circular. And in the middle of the circle, he said, "You're just in time." Somebody else said, a woman came and said, "You're just in time because we're about to do the seance." So they was about to do a seance. They was about to do a ritual, right? Right in the middle of all the tubes and shit. They was going to do a ritual to summon demons, okay? And when that happened, I said, okay, I got to get the fuck out of there because I was on some James Bond shit, infiltrating like a spy. I wasn't supposed to be there at all. But the Lord had me there to show me something. And that's when I learned that these motherfuckers are really doing experiments on us. And these motherfuckers are fucking, they're really doing their witchcraft. Their witchcraft is for real. They summon demons, all right, to do their work, to do their magic, and to send those demons to mess with us. That's why they do these seances, communicating with these familiar spirits, and they get instructions from Satan doing these seances, okay? And when they found out that I wasn't who I was praying to be because they tested me, okay? And I had to get the fuck out of there, and I ended up running. They were chasing me. I ended up running out of there, but then the dream finished. I don't remember what happened. So that's all I saw with that. And that was the fucking, I witnessed a witch ritual in the fucking elites, okay? Another one it was the end of the world, right? So the shit had already hit the fan, Jacob's trouble and all of that. And I was in a city, it was on some Book of Eli type shit. And I was in a city with a bunch of Akim because we had finished running away from a bunch of Agent Smiths, right? That was chasing us. And we was catching our breath. We had nothing, man. We was like the Maccabees going to war with nothing. We had nothing, man. No weapons, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was just dependent on the Lord and the spiritual power, all right? And that's what we had. We had the spirit, all right? But we was tired. You know what I'm saying? We was tired because the Lord didn't fully activate the power within us yet. All right? So we basically, what I'm saying is we were going through our tribulation. Like it says, through much tribulation you shall enter the kingdom. We were being tested. Okay? Till we wearied in the flesh till at the last minute. And so what happened was that the brothers sent me to go scout. And I went by myself to go scout the area because we knew that there was a bunch of witches in the area. We felt their energy. Because we were fighting, by this point we were fighting an army of witches and warlocks on some Lord of the Rings shit. For those of you that have seen Lord of the Rings, like it was really like that. But it was only a few of us. All right? Like the scriptures say that one of us shall chase 1,000, right? It was only a few of us against hundreds and thousands of fucking witches and warlocks, an army of them. So when I went to go scope them out, I found out where they were, right? They didn't see me, and they were plotting and congregating, and they were preparing their next attack for us because they wanted to wipe us out. And then they found out where the fuck I was, so I got up and ran back to the Akim and shit, and they were marching their army towards us, and then we were preparing for battle. And the Spirit told us, an angel came down and told us that this is your last test. This is your final stand. All right? Have faith. Have faith. And you'll see if the Lord is with you or not. And that was a message to all of us. But then the dream ended. So that was another vision with like, oh shit, these demons are coming after us. These demons want us dead. This spiritual warfare is fucking real. These visions, what I'm trying to tell you with these visions is that the Lord showed me every single time, these demons don't sleep. These demons don't rest. These witches and warlocks don't rest. These witches and warlocks do not stop casting spells on us. They don't stop. So why shall we stop and begin to fuck around and get lazy and start slacking off? Yes, we do need our rest. We do need that balance to recharge and take our breaks. But make no mistake, we are at the end now, and we don't have time to be partying it up for days on days on days, getting drunk every day, messing around with all these hordes of legions of demons on them, taking on those demons. Here it is, we're cleansing our temples. We're trying to cleanse our temples, fasting and prayer, and then you go around messing around and mess around with more demons. No, we're supposed to cast out these devils. So we're at that time where we can't play around and we can't afford to be slipping no more. The righteous man falleth 7 times and getteth back up, but the point is to get back up and stay back up. Okay? I have one more. Is there one more? I had the Witch Army invasion, the Rothschild underground layer, the agents. I have 2 more. And then I'm gonna close out. There was another vision, all right, of a fucking army of zombie babies, right? Check this out. Let me get to you. This one was crazy, man. Because you know Ezekiel 9:4 says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. But it says, slay in Ezekiel 9:6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. Little children. Nobody is exempt from the destruction that's coming. But in this vision, there was an army of zombie babies. All right? Let me read you another scripture, man. Let me read you 2 more scriptures that is pertain to destroying babies. Not that I'm advocating this. This is the judgment of the Lord, okay? This is like, you got to understand how bad the Lord is, that you don't want to mess with the Lord, because the Lord truly is not a respecter of persons. And the only reason why I'm, like, with these scriptures is crazy. Like, I mean, this is the scriptures. This is not what we're saying. This is what the Lord said. And a lot of people will be in disagreement with this, but be mad at the Lord. Don't be mad at us. But check this out. And I talked about it yesterday when I did that sit down on the true origins of the Ashkenazi Jews, right? And we talked about Amalek. So it says, right? In 1 Samuel 15:3, when the Lord of hosts told Saul, he gave Saul an order. And he said in 1 Samuel 15:2, he says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infants and suckling, newborn babies that are still sucking the nipples, ox and sheep, camel and ass, slay all of them, right? Similar to Ezekiel 9:4, right? Then it says in Psalms 137:7, it says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. He said, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. That's some heavy shit, right? You know what it is to take a baby and dash it against the stones? Anybody that says that, yeah, and I got the spirit right now to do, you don't got the spirit right now to do that. If you do some shit like that, you will bug out. And if you say some shit like that you in the spirit to do some shit, you're gonna bug out. First of all, you're gonna incriminate yourself, number one. Second of all, you're gonna bug the fuck out. The Lord has to put the spirit in you to do that. Okay? Like this is like the Lord's indignation is the Lord's wrath is gonna be cruel and great. And the Lord is not gonna spare nobody. So this vision showed me that. And what happened was, I don't know if I was with another brother. I believe I was with another brother, but I can't remember who. But I remember that I saw from a distance, there was a horde, just like in the zombie movies. There was a horde, all right, of zombie babies running towards me. And they was going to kill me. And I looked at them and I said, oh shit, these are babies. And I was fucked up because I wasn't expecting that. I sensed that there was a bunch of demons coming from afar, but they were a bunch of children, little children. And then I had a choice to make, right? Then the spirit got on me and I had a choice to make and I didn't hesitate. I drew my sword and I slayed all of them. They all, and this is in the dream, all of them fell by the way of my sword, right? And then an angel appeared before me. An angel manifested like a big flash of light. It was a big ass flash of light. And then the light dimmed a little bit and I saw the angel manifest. Actually, no. I saw that it was an angel, but I didn't see what the angel looked like. The light was dimmed a little bit, and so I knew it was an angel, but the light was still so bright that I could not see what the angel looked like. Okay, but it was an angel of the Lord. And the angel spoke to me and said, he said, you were being tested. He said, because cursed is the man that withhold his sword from blood. All right. Remember King Saul? He didn't utterly slay all of Amalek. He kept the king of Agag left alive. But you see, the Lord's orders is the Lord's orders. And that's just the way that it's going to be. So I made the choice to not hold back my sword from blood, and I carried out the mission that I was supposed to accomplish. In that vision, I was supposed to slay all of the enemy. The enemy happened to be an army of demonic babies, demonic children. And the angel appeared before me and said, you passed the test. All right, you didn't withhold your sword from blood. But the angel told me a very important message. The angel told me that what I did was not because I wanted to do it. What I did was because the Lord put the spirit on me. The Lord put his indignation on me to get in the spirit to do that. The angel told me that there are a lot of men talking a lot of shit. The angel told me this in the vision. The angel said that there are a lot of men talking a lot of shit about when I get the spiritual power that day, I'm going to kill. I'm in the spirit right now to kill. But they have no love and mercy in their hearts, and they don't know what this thing's about. That if they were to go do what they say that they are in the spirit to do right now, they would bug the fuck out. Because the judgment is not going to be because we take the judgment into our own hands and do it. The judgment will happen when the Lord makes us his battle axe. For those that are chosen to be the battle axe, will be because the Lord will choose that man and the Lord will put the spirit in that man. But cursed be the man that disobeys the word of the Lord. Like in 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter. That was a heavy vision. I woke up from that vision and If it wasn't for the scriptures, and I talked to brothers about it, if it wasn't for the scriptures that this is, it would have almost fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I already had visions with the angels, so I believed in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have easily believed, was I talking to a demon? Did a demon make me do this? You know what I'm saying? But it was just an example of judgment that's to happen in the future. Because old, just like it says in the scriptures, old and young will die. Men and women, children, babies. We're talking about 2/3 in all of the land of ages, both genders, different classes, rich and poor, it don't fucking matter. It's gonna go down. And my last vision for you that I had, this one was recent, okay, with the demons attacking us. And this one I want to go into more when I go into the sex magic, okay, but I'll go into it now since this one was recent. This one was last week when I was at my parents' house. The same house with the 7 chariots that came down. I don't know where the fuck I was. I was in some office or something. And I was in the closet in the office, and some woman came out of nowhere that I found very attractive. Okay. First and foremost, no woman that is in her right mind, that is in the right spirit, that is virtuous, will ever be so quick as to open up her legs like that. Let me tell you that any woman that is so quick to open up her legs very easily, she has heavy demons on her. She needs a lot of healing. You cannot be so simple as a man. And I've done it before. Okay? The one night stands, no good. Because those women have heavy demons on them. And some of those women have agendas. And they will get you in trouble. Okay? So in the vision, I realized this woman, she just barged into the fucking closet that I was in. It was like a big storage place in some fucking company I was working at. I don't know where I was, but it was like a big storage place. And she barged in. She started undressing herself. And she was my body type. It was crazy. She was my body type. She had a nice cocoa caramel skin. You know what I'm saying? She looked like she was an Ephraimite or a Simeonite or something. You know what I'm saying? And she started undressing herself, and then she threw me down, and she wanted to ride me. But then I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? And I threw her off of me, right? So when I threw this bitch off of me, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she said that she wanted to fuck me, and I'm like, nah, I don't know who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like you a demon. So when I called her out on it, she fled and she got scared because I found out what she was. Right? It was a fucking demon. I followed the demon. I prayed to the Lord in that moment. Lord, show me where this demon came from. I prayed to the Lord, and the Lord had me follow the demon where it came from. And I found out that an ex of mine, right? That I found out that she's dealing with witchcraft when she lied to me. And her roommate is a non-believer, another so-called Jew that is a non-believer, that blasphemed the Lord in front of my fucking face, her roommate. And through the spirit I determined, man, both of these bitches are witches, man. They say they don't believe in nothing, they don't do nothing. Nah, they're witches. The vision showed me that my ex's roommate summoned a demon to send it out to me out of spite and out of hatred. She summoned a sex demon that you may call a succubus to go fuck me in my dream to steal my energy. And I rebuked that fucking demon. And the demon got mad. Right? And I'm like, oh shit, man. Could it be that in real life, this fucking individual summoned demons? I mean, I told you about that fucking witch that I went to go see a while ago. Told me that an ex of mine did the same thing, trying to put curses on me. Right? But this was the first time that I had a vision of someone that I knew, right? That I recently was dealing with. Put a fucking a fucking curse on me, try to put a curse on me, and sent a demon to me to fuck me in my sleep. So these things happen, man. And I wanted to bring that to your attention because you will have demons, right, that will manifest in your dreams, that will want to fuck you in your dream, right? And so you thinking you're having a good dream. Damn, I was having a good dream. I was with this girl and she was looking good. Or for you females thinking that you're having a good dream because you're with an attractive guy in that dream and you're having sex in your dream with this guy. You don't know these people. Let me tell you something about you having sex in dreams with people that you do not know. Those are demonic attacks. Those are demons sent after you to fuck with you. Okay? And you need to pray those away. You rebuke those demons. You pray to the Lord. That's why you pray before you go to sleep. All right? And you pray when you wake up. You pray throughout your day. And you continue doing the right thing and building yourself up. All right? So that you can continue fighting these spiritual battles. Because these spiritual battles are for real. So that was the purpose of me telling you all of these visions. Because these visions show me that the spiritual battle is for real. These demons is for real. Right now, we're not able to really see these demons from the spirit world through our physical eyes. But the dream world is a whole nother realm. The dream world, our dreams, our visions, is tied to the spirit world. So the Lord may show you some things if you're able to understand it. Most are not able to understand it. But what I understood from all of this is the spiritual warfare is fucking real. I cannot stress to you enough. We cannot stress to you enough that you need to take this serious. If you still don't take this serious, if you're still slacking, if you're still saying, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow, you don't leave things for tomorrow. Every day you need to do whatever you can to build up your strength. Because the war is real. Like, for example, for those of you that love Game of Thrones, I like that fucking show because I like ancient world shit with fighting with swords and horses and stuff like that. That's my favorite type of shows to watch. I don't like watching bullshit. But if you saw not the new episode, but I think it's like the second episode. I believe it was the second episode when the army of the dead finally came. It was a massive fucking army and they were overwhelmed. These demons are about to come to us just like that. They're about to overwhelm us. All right? And it's going to be very few of us fighting them. Right? And it's only going to be through the Spirit of the Lord that we will triumph. But do not think that sitting on your ass and having faith is enough. Oh, I got faith, the Lord got me, and then you sit on your fucking ass every day. No. Faith is not enough. Let me bring you the scripture. This is the book of James. The book of James 2:17, and it says, even so faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one power, right? Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed Yahweh, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness. And he was called the friend of Yahweh. Verse 24. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. You cannot sit on your ass and just expect the Lord for you to do everything. No, the Lord expects you to put in work. The Lord expects you to put in that twerk. I'm not talking about twerk, that disgusting dance of shaking your ass. I'm talking about twerk, that late 90s, early 2000s slang, that was slang for time and work. You got to put in the time and you got to put in the work, baby. You got to get your hands dirty. You can no longer sit on your ass thinking that I'm going to do it tomorrow, or thinking that you got a couple more years to get right. No, the demons are coming in droves. Think about just how Game of Thrones, where the army of the dead came and they swarmed, they overwhelmed them. It was so many of them that so many died because they couldn't handle them all. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise, also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way? Verse 26. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. And this is the other main part that these visions have shown me. These visions have shown me that these witches are real, these warlocks are real, these demons are real. The spiritual power to heal and to destroy, it's real. But you want to know what else is even more real? This work that we have to do by our faiths. We will not be exempt from putting in work. These witches and warlocks, they're not just saying abracadabra and sitting on their ass watching TV to cast these spells and summon these demons. They're putting in work on the left-hand side. We got to put in work too to get our asses in order and bring up and abound more in the spirit. Okay. This is the book of 2 Peter. I'll start at 1 and 1. 2 Peter 1 and 1. Simon Peter, a servant and an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to them that have obtained like precious faith with us through the righteousness of Yahweh and our Savior Yahushua Mashiach. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you through the knowledge of Yahweh and of Yahushua our Lord, according as his divine power have given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that have called us to glory and virtue. There goes that word virtue again, which ties into the valor, right? When I had broke it down to you in the video, mental valor. Verse 4, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. There goes that lust again. I told you that you cannot be living with this lust anymore. You have to fight it. You cannot be lusting after substances. You cannot be lusting after women. You cannot be lusting, doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. Lusting after the flesh. All right? Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. All these addictions. Verse 5, and beside this, given all diligence, given all diligence. Okay? Add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. For if these things be in you and abound, meaning increase, that is what it means to abound. They must increase. Every day we're supposed to be learning, growing in the spirit. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and all these things, right? All these teachings is supposed to be profitable unto us so that we can continue growing, because if we don't continue to grow, then we die. We need to feed ourselves this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding every single day. And not only do we need to feed it, right, into our spirit, we need to practice these things. We need to be doers of the word. Very important. When we do the things that we're supposed to do, we bring our thoughts into subjection to not think about stupid things that we shouldn't be thinking about. Like lusting after a female. I want to fuck this girl. Damn it, that ass is nice. You are attracting demons. Thinking about other things that you shouldn't be thinking about. Doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Saying things that you shouldn't be saying. Every time you do these things, you're attracting demons. But when you focus on the mission, I learned this the hard way. I can't wait to give you my testimony, but I have to wait, okay? Because I cannot be a hypocrite, and I will explain to you why when I finally do it. But I learned the hard way, staying focused. Like Yahushua said, take your yoke upon me, for it is easy. There is only one way for us, and there is only one thing that makes sense, and there is only one thing that will bring us peace. All right? Verse 8, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off. Can't see the bigger picture. And they're blind. And you can tell because they don't know what the hell is going on. They can't figure out what the hell is going on. And have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Second Peter's, the first chapter. Remember that. Read it always. You don't know what to do? That's one of many chapters of knowing what to do. I mean, there's so many chapters. But that chapter is a beautiful chapter to help guide you of certain qualities that you definitely should not lack and certain things that you should be doing, which is really very simple, and it involves focusing on the Lord. You're either going to love the world and be distracted with the world, or you're going to be focused on the Lord. And it will manifest through each individual. You cannot bullshit your way around this. You cannot say, I love the Lord with your mouth and your actions show otherwise. And then you crucify yourself with your own words, not knowing what the hell you're talking about, talking out of your ass. I'm gonna end the live soon, but let me read what you brothers and sisters put in the chat. Shalom to everybody that came in. Let's see here. Ebony Oliver, Shalom, Ebony. Walking in Faith 2, Shalom, brother. Let's see. James Shashikar, Banaya Yahawada, Shalom, brother. All right. Seal the Elect, 144,000 Yasharala, Shalom. Yeah, the fourth kind. Okay, I did remember the fucking movie. Salakia, my memory is kind of shot sometimes. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Okay, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a classic one. But I meant to say the fourth kind. But hey, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was another one. Baruch Shem Yahawada 144, Shalom. That game Halo Combat Evolved. I used to have bizarre dreams after playing. Sound like Lot. Laugh out loud. WFI Detroit. It said, call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatam. Shalom. Rabia El Rabioso. Shalom. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. The brother put in. Crap. The brother WFI Detroit put in Psalm 34 and 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. What a beautiful scripture, brother. WFI Detroit. Psalms 34 and 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. That's right. All right. Pam Pants. Shalom, sister. Hario Dos. Shalom, brother. Let's see. Valency Jean, Shalom, it says, the Lord showed in a dream last year the most loving Hollywood actors and actresses eat live human at dinner table as delicacies. I believe that. All right. Don't lower your frequencies. Khan. James Shashikar, Banaya, Yahawada, excellent vid. Hey, all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord will put that ancient world manly warrior spirit in his elect. Khan. Okay. Hario Dos, 1 Samuel 15 and 22. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Khan. GMS, Surrey name, Banyamyan. Shalom, Ak. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah, brother. Sarah Ash. There's a woman in my building I want real bad. Well, Sarah, that's something that you're going to have to deal with, and you're going to have to come to terms. Is it love or is it lust? But that is for you to deal with. I can't wait to give my testimony on lust and addictions. That might be part 5 or 6 of the Shining Ones video. Might be part 6. Part 5, I want to talk to you about. I think in part 5, if I don't do it this week, Lord willing, in the weekend, maybe Friday, because I'm going to work a lot this week. I want to talk to you about, speaking of lust, the demonic, the demons, the heavy demons that the Lord sent my way to this, not the Lord. Well, the Lord gave Satan permission to send my way to fucking get me off the path and destroy me. Because I know a lot of you brothers, man, you go through your... Look, man, none of you brothers want to burn. Believe that. That's why Paul said it is better to marry than to burn. For you to have that one woman, your wife, than to burn. You don't want to burn, man. And you got to be very careful who you deal with. Don't be so quick to just put your rod in any woman, even if she doesn't have a man. Like I said, I've done it before. I had one night stands, but I was ignorant. All right. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know how serious the spiritual warfare was. All right. It is serious. And some of these people, you don't know them. They're carrying legions. I mean, I want you to think about this. Let's say you fuck a girl, right? That you just met. And she had already 30 dudes. That's 30 different spirits she had on her. But those 30 dudes, right, had fucked 10 different girls each, right? Those 30 dudes that she fucked 10 different girls each. So that's 300 spirits, right? But how many spirits did those 10 girls from each dude did they fuck? And then you multiply, you know what I'm saying? You multiply that by more demons. You see how we get connected? These soul ties are real. The flesh becoming one is real. We got to pray for one another, man. Because this sex magic, that's another Witch Hunter series I want to do real soon. I want to get into the sex magic. Obadiah 1:18, Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Khan, that's a beautiful scripture. All right, GMS, known origins, Shalom, Ak, Shalom, brother Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Barakatah. Hario Dos said, I've had a dream one time that all the women I was trying to talk to, a demon that looked like my grandma, would come out screaming and scare them away. What's up with that? What's up with that is that old people, right, back in the day, let me tell you a story with what's up with that. That's a good one. So my father, right, would tell me, grew up old school, where when his grandmother was alive, and he would bring girls to the house to talk to. Mind you, they grew up on a farm. He was allowed to bring girls to the crib. Talking about a teenager, a young man. If his grandmother was there supervising them. And they would be outside in the yard chilling. And his grandmother would be sitting right there in between them. And they would basically on some talk show host shit. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about that. They don't do that these days. But you want to know why they were like that in the back then? Where the old people, they would chaperone the dates of these children so that they're not fucking around doing things that they're not supposed to do too early, rushing into things. So in that vision, your grandmother, being old school, right? She recognized the demons. Unlike the young generation now, all they want to do is have fun. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong? You just want to have fun. No. See, the old people back in the day, they were in a different vibration. And they wasn't with none of that nonsense. I'm not saying that they didn't commit wickedness and they didn't commit sins. But there was a lot more decency and respect back in the days than there is now. Women were more covered up. There was more dignity and respect. All right. There was more honor. All right. And a lot of the dirt that was done, it was done more behind closed doors. It wasn't so out in the open. All right. And the children were chastised. Back in the day, right? Back in the day, like I'm talking about during my great-grandparents' times, great-grandparents' times, shit, even my parents' time, just like I told you. If I wanted to talk to a girl, it wasn't me meeting a girl and asking for her number like it is now. I had to go to her house, right? Not me growing up. Me growing up was a different generation, but my parents and their parents, etc. But what they had to do was, if the men wanted to talk to a girl, they had to go to their house to meet their parents. And they wasn't taking the female out on dates by themselves. No, they wasn't going nowhere. You got to know the girl in the house of the parents, and that's where it stayed. No sleeping over, no being by yourself, being watched. You know what I'm saying? Now, you may think that's fucked up, but that was ordered, all right? Because the daughter's virginity was very important. It was very important to protect the chastity of the daughter, all right? Because according to traditions, she's supposed to be married off a virgin, right? And it was the same thing if a female wanted to come to the male's house with the parents there. Matter of fact, it was like that for me growing up. Because I couldn't bring in my house, I had a mother and father that would whoop my fucking ass. I couldn't bring no females in the house. I want you to listen very carefully. I told you my parents are old school. I couldn't bring no females in the house, right? If my parents were not home. And if I dared bring a female in the house, which I never did, I never brought females in the crib with my parents not being there. If I did, my neighbors would snitch. Because I'm talking about old school Dominicans. All right? So that vision that you had, that was some old school shit that you was being shown. Rafael de la Men of Valor protects and warns the sheep, the chief. Shalom, chief. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, grabbing your spirit. That's right, these demons trying to grab our spirit. Rafael de la Cruz, we all have to go through our trials. May the Most High grant us the wisdom to be on the right path. That's right. And we got to continue to do righteously. We got to be honest with ourselves. It takes honesty. We have to be honest with ourselves and be honest with one another. Okay? We can't just be sweeping our demons under the rug. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror. And I'm telling you, I learned this the hard way. And I'm going to share it with all you brothers and sisters. I'm going to share to you my biggest demons, and I'm going to tell it to you from the beginning. But we got to be honest with ourselves. That is the only way that we can fight these demons. We cannot be in denial. A drug addict cannot heal himself from all the drugs, and the alcoholic cannot heal from the alcoholism without admitting that he has a problem and that he needs to do something about it ASAP. Okay? Men of Valor, Kalo Ariyah, Shalom, brother. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Sis Blue, Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Hario Dos. Well, that's funny because I can't get a woman on this side. Maybe it's the Lord telling me that I have to be a lone soldier in this walk. And me neither. Well, it's like I told you in the vision with the angels, with the chariots that came down. The angel told me, don't worry about women because you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. I'm not saying that I won't be blessed with a woman on this side, but the angel told me, don't worry about, because see I know why the angel said that, because what happens is you're lonely and heartbroken, so you want to fill that void. It gets lonely sometimes going to sleep by yourself every night. I would know. You know what I'm saying? But just be strong, brothers, man. You know, be strong. You're not alone. The angels is with us. You know, you are in our prayers. All right? We love you, brothers and sisters, and you are in our prayers. You are all in our prayers. Remember, we have each other, even though we don't know you know what I look like, but I don't know what none of you look like. But regardless of what, we're right here, man. You know what I'm saying? And together we're in the spirit. One mind, one body, one voice. Praising the Lord together. Pray for one another, man. Wow, that's crazy. I was giving my grandma hell growing up. I was that hard-headed. Yeah, a lot of us was hard-headed, man. Because we didn't understand, because we was poisoned with the philosophies of this world. So we didn't understand why is it that, oh, these fucking old people with their old school ways. Well, guess what? The Bible teaches us that the old school ways is the way. And then we begin to appreciate, man, you know what I love to do? You want to know who I love hanging out with? I love hanging out with old people. Yeah, that may sound corny to a lot of you, but I don't like the shit of this world. I don't like a lot of this young shit. I love hanging out with old people, especially the old people on my block that I chill with, because I love hearing stories of back in the day. I love that old school flavor and that old school soul that no longer exists among the majority of this generation because they're lost in the sauce. All this colorful hair shit. I love talking to the elderly in my family because I love hearing about the old family stories and where we came from and what they were doing back then and the values and the traditions of back then and their zeal for the Lord, even though it may not all be according to knowledge, but they truly believe. The only people, the main people in my family, right, that I can talk to that actually believe in the Bible is actually the old people. They're the only ones that I can preach to and that they're willing to be in holy conversation with. I love talking to old people, and now I appreciate them the evermore, because a part of being a man of valor, we are supposed to protect the elderly. And let me tell you something. Anybody that talks shit about the elderly, right? And that dares lift a finger against the elderly and that dares bring them harm is a fucking demon, man. And you deserve to be severely punished. Beating up elderly people, you deserve to be severely punished, if not put to death if you don't repent. The fuck is that all about? Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. Con, brother. But I brought girls home when my parents weren't home. Hey, you did what you had to do. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to be a slick one. We all was there. When my parents got divorced, I lived with my mom. She didn't care if females stayed at the house. Once I lived with my mom, I got demonic. It be like that, man. That's why you need a mother and a father. Because if you don't have a woman that's fucking tough and strict, then she becomes lenient with the rules and just lets you do what you want, and then you get into all this demonic shit. Worldly women are distractions. Calm. 1 Corinthians 12:12. For as the body is one and have many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Mashiach. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the... Oh my God, what a beautiful scripture, brother. The water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. May the Lord bless your diligence with the precepts. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein? And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Hard-headed ass people. You know what I'm saying? And even with talking with the elderly, ever since I was a child, I love talking to the elderly, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think it was corny. Oh, corny. They don't want to... It's like mad disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it, I remember I had a great aunt that was like 90 years old and still going strong, but she was weak, and all the family parties, she would be in the corner by herself, and some of the children wouldn't even bless her and say hello to her. It's fucking disgusting, man. Like, these children have no respect. Then again, some of the parents are at fault, but then again, some of the parents are not at fault because the parents can't control the demons. Even if there are certain parents that do raise their children right, but the children are still fucking demons. They choose to be demons. Unfortunately, that's on them. For whatever reason, I can't have much an opinion on that because I don't have children. I was never a father. So I don't know what it is to be a father. But you brothers and sisters that are parents, maybe you can elaborate on that more, So I'm not going to cross the boundaries. It says, and ye shall find rest for your souls, but they said we will not hearken therein. We will not walk therein. My grandma used to spoil me. She was from the tribe of Manasseh. I miss her. Amen. May she rest in peace. 1 Ezra 4:26. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Yeah. Big breaking news. Saudi Arabia tanks attacked by Iran. Holy shit. That is big breaking news, man. Yo, all hell is breaking loose in the Middle East. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and mastering women shall bring forth monsters. It's going down. U.S. send jets. Come on, man. Well, I'm about to get off, man, and I'm about to get on this news. All right, see what the hell is going on. Stay watching the news. Stay watching what's going on, man, because shit is popping off in the Middle East. I'm telling you that the time is now, all right? The time is now to work out all your demons. Work it out however long it takes, but start Stop ignoring them. Stop being in denial about your demons. Stop ignoring them, because the time is now, okay, to get to work, because faith without works is dead. Look at what's happening in the Middle East, okay? All hell is breaking loose. What you think is going to happen? We're at the end. All hell is breaking loose in the Middle East. Every day is something new. Last week, over 600 missiles, 800 missiles was fired in over 24 hours. Yo, these motherfuckers are going at it, man. This is inevitable. It's going down. And what you think is going to happen over here in Babylon? And what you think is going to happen in the United States of America? Oh, the demonic activity is going to intensify. All right? But anyways, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles. Salutations to the house of David, to the hopeful elect, to the Israelite foreigners, the men, women, and children. The dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. Death to these devils and witches and warlocks. And for you shining ones that are shining, all right? Keep on shining, baby. And ignore, like that song I was playing earlier. Ignore the tricks played on your mind. Just take it one day at a time. Because when you stress out, it only take away from your shine. So just take it one day at a time. We can only worry about one day at a time. Don't be stressing these demons too much and let them dim your light. Don't let these hoes slow your fire. We cannot afford anymore to become spiritually drained. We have to rise up. It's time to ask for the Lord to unleash our every gifts, but we have to put in the work. Faith without works is dead. We have to get our hands dirty, and we have to have the motivation, the devotion, the dedication, the determination to keep pushing forward and say the hell with you devils. I'm not scared of you. I won't be scared of you. I got the Lord and I got the angels, and I have my brothers and sisters with me. Shalom.